and it's time. So we have Mahesh over here. Hi, Mahesh. Can you hear me? Can you see me? Type in hi in the comment if you are able to hear me and if you are able to see me. By that time, let me start live streaming inside a Facebook group. All right. And we are almost live. Hi, Ashish. Hi, Mahesh. Hi, Volga. If you guys are able to hear me, if you guys are able to see me, type in hi in the comment below so I know you are able to hear me and see me and I'm not talking on mute or there is no tech trouble while we do this. Hi, Ashish. Hello. We have Volga Bhatkar is here. Hi, Volga. Can you hear me? Can you see me? Looks like Ashish is here and is able to hear me and see me. So let me get started. All right. So we are already on day 4. Looks like a long time, 4 days. And today is going to be very, very interesting things that no diet plan, no exercise plan, nothing kind of teaches you this because, and let me very good evening, Volga. Thank you, Ashish. So let me get started. If you're watching this as a recording, if you're live already and you're going to join soon. So let me recap. Day 1, we talked about the power of exercise. It is more useful in improving your health than losing weight. If you want to lose weight, you got to take care of your nutrition. So that's very, very important. That's day 1. And along with exercise, take care of your NEAT, which is non-exercise activity. And in simple terms, keep moving all day as much as you can. So that's day 1 for you. Day 2, we talked about nutrition. We talked about, the 5-star eating system. Again, no diet, no meal plan talks about it. This is what I actually teach inside my nutrition coaching program. And if any of you are interested, you can feel free to reach out to me. I can share what it looks like. And if you're interested, we can talk about that as well. So what is 5-star? 1, you got to understand why you are eating, how you are eating, how much you are eating. Then comes what you are eating, and then plan and prepare in advance so that you can be consistent. Now, these are 5 things, okay? And just having meal plan doesn't really, cut through. And most people think that, oh, I got a meal plan, I'm not able to implement it. There is a problem with me. I don't have discipline. I don't have willpower, all of that stuff. And then they say, okay, let me try another meal plan. Let me try another meal plan. But meal plans won't crack it if you don't get the 5-star system in place. So that's on nutrition. Day 3, we talked about stress, recovery, and sleep. Uh, Most of the problem, even the problem of overeating, not eating the right thing, or all the issues that you face is because of stress. It originates because of stress. We think, oh, diabetes, oh, it's because I have high blood sugar, I need to stop eating carbs. Now, that's how you manage diabetes. That's not the reason why you got diabetes. Okay, you have blood pressure, I need to eat less salt. Yeah, that's how you manage blood pressure, but you haven't got blood pressure because of that. You get that because of stress. You have, clogging in your arteries. Uh, you know, Again, it's not because there is high level of cholesterol. It is because high level of calcium. And why is high level of calcium in your body? Why calcium deposits in the artery? Because you're under stress. So stress is a very, very big factor which changes the way you move, where you live, where you eat, all of these stuff. So if you don't take care of that, it will be a trouble. How do you take care of that? Now, the most important part, or the simplest thing that you can do about it, is sleep. Sleep for 7 to 9 hours and have quality sleep. We talked about how you can improve the quality of sleep. The simplest thing is you got to, one, prepare for sleep. You can't just shut down your laptop and go and say, okay, I'm going to sleep now. You can't do that. It doesn't work that way. Your brain needs time to shut down. Okay, it doesn't have a switch. It's a process. So that's one. You got to make sure that you live in a dark, sleep in a dark place. Expose yourself to sunlight during the day and lesser light during the night. You keep your environment clear, calm, you know, and hygienic so that there is no noise and all of that stuff while you do that. So these are the things that we talked about sleep. About 8 hours is a good parameter. If you're sleeping anything less than 8 hours, it's an alarming thing for you. I know there are a lot of studies and people will tell you about it, but if you're sleeping less than 8 hours and you have health issues, you have weight issues, then you got to take that and work on, improving the quantity and quality of your sleep. Is it making sense? So we already have a Sanjay, VM, Mohan, Volga, Ashish, all of you. Is this making sense to you guys? Are you with me so far? Yeah, let me know in the comments. I'll wait. Yes, Volga says yes. Thank you so much. Yes, Ashish, Sanjay, VM, Mohan. Yeah. Okay. Now, thank you so much, Volga, Ashish. Now, here's the thing. Today, we're going to talk about cravings. Today, we're going to talk about stress or emotional eating. We're going to talk about habits and overeating. Now, what is the most interesting topic out of this for all of you who are live? If you're watching this as a recording, you don't have a choice to put in there, but you can put it in the comments below right now. What is the most interesting thing that you would like to learn? Is it cravings? Is it stress eating, emotional eating? What is it? Cravings, emotional eating, stress eating, overeating. What is that you think is something that you would be interested in learning and solving? Emotional eating. Awesome, Volga. Thank you. All right. Emotional eating. DIR. What is DIR? Ashish, I didn't get that. DIRET. Okay. Diet properly. Okay. Awesome. So here is the thing, right? Uh, you get a meal plan. Somebody tells you what to do, or you downloaded a guide that I gave you, right? Now here is the thing. What do you think would happen when you have an emotional eating problem? What do you think would happen when you have, you know, what to do? Like I've given you the guide. You have 20 different meal ideas available. So now knowledge is not a problem. You can't complain. You can't tell anybody that I don't know what to do, right? Makes sense, Ashish, for anybody who's asking for diet or anybody who is actually, thinking about, tell me what to eat and I'll eat, right? This is what people usually think is going to be a solution for them. Now you already know what to eat. And if you don't know, you can always Google it as well. But here is the thing, okay? Let me ask you this. If you don't know how to drive, okay, and I give you a car and say, okay, here is accelerator, here is brake, here is clutch, this is steering wheel, this is gear stick. Okay. What you got to do is if you want to move left or right, you got to turn the steering. If you want to move forward or backwards, you need to press the clutch, change the gear, move forward. Press the clutch, change the gear, put it in reverse, go back. I told you how it works. You have the car with you, and I've told you how it works. Can you drive the car? This is, you don't know how to drive the car. This is first time you saw the car. I gave you all the instructions, all the details that you need. Can you drive the car? No. Why? I can. On day one, Ashish, on day one, you can drive the car in a best thing. You would be an exception. We need to build a case study on you because Volga says no. Yes, Sanjay says no. And everybody that I know says no. I can't drive the car on day one. Or I put you in a say cockpit. You already know how to drive car. I'll put you in a airplane cockpit, and I'll tell you, okay, what all these buttons means. Go now, fly the plane. Can you fly? Can you fly a helicopter? Can you fly a plane? Can you drive or run a train? Need support or guide how to start the process? Okay, great, Volga. Thank you for that. Here is what I'll tell you. There are two reasons why you can't do it. Okay. You're driving for 40 years, Ashish. I'm saying on day one, not because you're driving for 40 years. You're not eating healthy for 40 years. You want to do it from day one. Can you do it? Right? You can't do it for two reasons. Okay. Number one, it is about skill. Okay. You have not developed the skill, right? Imagine, you holding that pencil for the first time and starting to write. How many days it took for you to really write well? Imagine you learning to walk. How many days did it take for you to really walk well? First you were, rolling on the bed. First you learned to roll, on your stomach. Then you learned to crawl. Then you take some support and walk on two legs. Then slowly, you take 3 4 steps, you fall down. Another 3 4 steps, you fall down. And then you start to learn to balance and walk. Then you learn to run, right? So there is a learning process, and that is called building skills. So eating healthy, working out regularly, it is all about building that skill. If this is making sense to you, type in skill below, right? Expecting yourself to be able to eat the way I am eating, or anybody else is eating. Just like Ashish says, I've been living a healthy life for 22 years, healthy lifestyle. I've been learning, teaching all these things for 22 years. If you think that you can replicate everything that I'm doing today, you're setting yourself up for a failure, right? So one part is the skill. And once you have the skill, then you can drive, then you can walk, then you can run. And skill building takes repetitions. Okay. Skill building doesn't happen in a day, it takes repetitions, right? And the process of building that skill, the other thing that comes into picture, or let me just first confirm. Got it? Skill building takes repetitions. Type in reps in the comment below, so I know you got it. Skill building needs reps. You got to try. Like, how do you learn to cook, right? Even if you have to build something, you learn how to make a tea or coffee. You don't make perfect tea or coffee on day one. You do it. More you do it, easier it gets, becomes skill, right? So it needs reps. Now the second thing, the thing that can stop you from building that skill could be fear. Like, do you know somebody who actually knows how to drive, but they can't drive because of fear? Okay, they don't have that confidence that they will be able to drive. Do you know somebody like that? Type in yes in the comment below, because you know somebody like that. Or they know how to drive, right? They have gone to driving school, learned for 15 days, whatever, but they are not confident enough to drive. Why? Because there is fear. There is fear of falling down, fear of hitting somebody, fear of crashing, all that stuff, right? So that's an emotional part. You need to be confident to execute that, right? So two things that can actually help you really implement things, that is skill, and the other one is your mindset or your confidence. And confidence comes, skills come from repetition. If you're directly put into an F1 circuit where everybody is driving at 340 miles per hour, you will find it difficult. Are we clear? Are you with me so far? Yes. Yes, makes sense. Type in MS if this is making sense to you, right? So thank you so much. So the reason I'm telling you this is, the purpose is to really help you build a healthy lifestyle and set you up for success. Do not, for your sake, okay, expect yourself to be able to do things where somebody else who has done so many repetitions, compare yourself with them. Give yourself time, do repetitions. You will fail, you will fall down. But if you continue to try, the way you learn to walk, you will be able to do it. Yeah? Can you do it? Type in I can. So I know that you can. Right? Yeah. It's a process. If you don't give up, if you continue to work on it, you can, because it's a skill. Okay. Just like walking, just like writing, you can. That's a skill. Awesome. Thank you so much. Now, let's talk about this part again, which diet plans don't talk about. And that's why just telling you what to eat is not enough, because that is something I've already told you. I've given you the guide that you're looking for. I've given you meal options and all that stuff. So now let's talk about cravings. How many of you have experienced craving? Type in C in the chat if you have experienced cravings. Type in C in the chat box if you've experienced cravings. No? Okay, awesome. So you're good, Sanjay. If you haven't experienced cravings, then you're good. Anybody who's experienced cravings? I get it, for sure. Okay, no. Anybody is yes? Craving, says Jennifer. Thank you so much. Anybody else who's experienced cravings? If you have experienced, this is going to make a lot of sense to you. No, says Volga, you don't experience cravings. Okay, awesome. So we have Jennifer and we have people who are going to watch this as a recording. So I'm going to explain that. Okay, so you can participate. You haven't got it. In case you get it, you know how to deal with it. You know why cravings originate? Most of the time, anything, okay, anything that you restrict yourself to actually becomes a craving. You like something, and if I restrict you from eating that, that becomes your craving. Okay, so I'll give you a very simple example that was, a study done by a very famous psychologist. So what they did was they gave everybody, like 50 people, a jar with cookies in it. Okay, everybody got 4 cookies. Okay, and then there was another set of people who got 2 cookies. Okay, so half of them got only 2 cookies in the jar, half of them got 4 cookies in the jar. Now, for the people who had 2 cookies, they did nothing. They let them eat those cookies. All the cookies are same, made in the same place, same size, everything is same. Now, the people who had, 4 cookies, what they did was, again, they divided that group into 2 parts. And from one part, they took 2 cookies back. Okay, they had 4, but they say, okay, sorry, we made a mistake. We should have given you only 2. So you're taking 2 back. Now, here is what happened. When they, actually asked for the desirability of the cookie and the taste and, cravings for them to eat cookie, people who had 4 cookies and whose 2 cookies were taken back, most of them answered that this was more tastier than anybody else. They desired that cookie more. Are you learning something out of it? What happens is when you like something and that is restricted upon, especially by your diet, by your diet plan, or your anything keto, paleo, whatever you are trying, if that restrict you from eating something, could be chocolate, could be samosa, could be cake, whatever, you crave for that thing more. Got it? Making sense? Are you with me so far? Yep. If you got it, awesome, Jennifer. Thank you. Because you had cravings, you would understand. So now how to deal with that? Understand this thing. Okay. Cravings happen because you made that thing scarce. More scarcity towards that particular thing, more you crave for it. Okay. So the simplest thing, I know it's counterintuitive, but here is how it works. You got to make it normal. If you restrict yourself too much, What happens is, say for example, if you have cookies and you eat one cookie every day, you will be fine. You'll be happy with having one cookie every day. But if you restrict yourself too much and say, okay, I'll eat cookies only on weekends, then what happens is first 5 days you don't eat anything, Monday to Friday. On weekend, you will have 4 cookies each. Okay. So you end up eating 8 cookies over a weekend versus you could have actually had only 7 cookies if you had one cookie every day. And even if on one day you didn't get a cookie, you wouldn't feel any bad about it because you were having it every day. So it could have become 6 or 5, but you wouldn't even care. Make sense? So what you got to do is you got to make that food normal. Whatever food that you're eating should become normal. Clear? I've been clear if that's clear to you. Yeah. Awesome. So try that. Let me know how it goes. Now, overeating or binging. Now, let me ask you this. Not a very, great question, but how many of you have ever had overeating or binge eating issues that actually led to weight gain? You can be honest and say yes, because we are all closed community over here. We respect you and we would not even say anything about it. Yes, occasionally. It happens occasionally, actually. Yeah, it doesn't happen every day, but it happens. Okay. Again, this is part of your psychology. What happens is, and let me know if you can relate to this. Monday to Friday, you would restrict yourself. You probably would count the calories, measure the food, make sure you are eating right. And on Saturday and Sunday, you actually indulge or overindulge from Friday night. Does that happen? Type in me if that happens to you, or if you have seen that happen. Yeah. Now, again, look at this psychology. Look at this. Okay. What you're doing is, or has anybody looked for a cheat day? Okay. Do you look for a cheat day? Right. In your meal plan, in your, diet plan or whatever happens. Exactly. Now, again, look at this. Why do you need a cheat day? Or why do you end up overeating? You actually overeat because you've created certain rules around food. And what happens is, because of those rules, that okay, this food is something I would have only on weekends or on cheat days. When you actually have those rules and those things around you, what you're doing is you're restricting yourself too much on the weekday. You've exercised too much of self control. You've used up your willpower. And anyway, willpower is an energy. And you have already used that energy in your work throughout the week. And now that week is over, you want to relax, you want to release stress. Overeating makes you feel good. Overeating makes you feel safe. Overeating distracts you from the play, from the pain, from the problems that you are facing in your day-to-day life. Right? And that's why you end up binging on whatever, pizza, samosa, burger, cakes, ice creams, whatever that you like. Is it making sense? Are you with me? Yeah. If you're going to restrict too much, now you have given up. Your willpower is gone, right? You want something to make you happy because you feel you worked so hard over the week that now you deserve a treat. Yes. Are these kind of the thing, mental dialogues going inside you, that okay, now I deserve it, this is a reward that I have earned? Or you work out too much so that you can, binge or compensate for that? Now if you're doing this is what is creating dissonance in your brain. You are treating food as reward. You're treating workout, exercise, movement as punishment. And more you do it, you know, more polarizing this gets, right? The simplest way to do it is number one, have no rules that I can't have pizza on weekday or I can't have cake or ice cream on weekday. You got to have it. You have it on that day, irrespective whether it's weekday, weekend, whatever it is. So one, get rid of those so-called food rules, okay? And cheat days. No cheat days. Every day is made equal. You can eat whatever you like in whatever quantity that you want, uh, and do it. Is that clear? That's number one, okay? Normalize eating over a week. Yes, got it. Type in got it in the chat below so I know you got that, because that's the step number one. Yeah. All right. Thank you, Jennifer. Number two, right? Number two is own the choice. Okay. Rather than thinking about, oh, this is not me. Why should I do it? I shouldn't have done this. That's fine. You ate pizza because you wanted it, you liked it. You ate 2 slices, you ate 4 slices. Make a conscious decision and conscious choice and own it. Okay, don't blame it on things, people, situation, any of these. You own the choice. Okay, you own your own choice. Type it own if you got it, right? That's the second step. One, you normalize. Second, you own it. Okay, take responsibility of your own choice. No blaming, no complaining. Type it OWN, own it in the chat if you got this, because that's very, very important. You got to own it. Only then, once you are responsible, you will make a better choice, right? Awesome. All right, thank you so much. Now, the third phase. Once you own it, move from healthiest to healthier. Okay. Now, it is almost very, very difficult to choose the healthiest food or get the healthiest food every time you want to eat, because now you are looking at perfect, and perfectionism is like an horizon. Okay, you see that, but more you go towards it, more further it moves away from you. There is nothing called perfect. There is nothing called perfectionism. What you got to do is move to what is healthier. Okay, if I'm ordering pizza, I like it. Can I actually look at healthier version of pizza? For example, you order pizza and you say, okay, can I have pizza with extra vegetable toppings on it? You have pizza, whatever you like, but you are adding little more vegetable toppings to it. Okay, I'm having pizza. Okay, can I add, some side which has a lot more, lean protein? Could be, say, tandoori paneer or some kind of paneer along with it, or chicken or egg or curd or yogurt or whatever you like. So now you're balancing that meal by adding something more, but you're not saying no to pizza, right? So what you're doing is you're always moving for what is a healthier possible option than the healthiest possible, because when it is not healthiest possible, you would become zero. Okay, if it's not healthy, anything goes in whatever quantity. You can decide, how can I make it little more healthier than what it is today? Make sense? Right? Type in MS if this is making sense to you, because this is step number 3. And this is where skill comes in, repetition comes in. How do you make what you are eating slightly more healthier? Right? So this is how you manage overeating. And you have the 5-star eating system. I think Jennifer has not joined in. I'm not sure if you had looked at the replay, but you can go to day 2, watch the replay, and you can implement any part of the eating system. And just one part will also make your meal healthier, right? You don't have to get perfect. Forget about what is perfect. Is it making sense? Yep. Okay. All right. Now, here is the thing. How many times you have heard we are, you know, the choices that we make or the habits that we have? How many of you want to learn how to make healthy habits? Type in HH healthy habits if you want to learn how to make healthy habits. We have Ashish, Dr. Satish, Jennifer, Sanjay, Saurabh, VM, Mohan, Volga. Healthy habits. Okay. Right. Awesome. Thank you. Here is what it is. You know how habit works. Habit works with what we call it as a trigger or a reminder. Okay. If there is a trigger, then you respond. You respond to that trigger by taking some action. And when you take the action, you get reward for the action or the result for the action, right? These are the 4 steps in which habit works. Now, I'll give you a very simple example: stress eating, emotional eating, and we're going to talk about it. And that's why I'm talking about habits before that. Is you are stressed, you had fight with your colleague, with your husband, with your wife, with somebody, or something in the office, there is project deadline, something. So there is stress. Now your response to that stress is by eating food. Okay, food gives you comfort, and when you eat food, you get a reward. There is dopamine spike in your brain, which makes you feel good, which numbs the pain, which gives you energy boost, sugar spike, sugar rush, all of that. And your brain consider that as a reward because dopamine is good. Your brain enjoyed it, right? So this is what creates stress or emotional eating cycle. Whenever you're emotional about something, whenever you're happy, say for example, you got a promotion, you're happy, your response, okay, today I'm going to have a treat. What is that action? I'm going to eat certain food and I'm going to drink. It could be soft drink, it could be hard drink, whatever. Reward: when you eat and drink, you get dopamine spike and you enjoy. Clear? Is this making sense? Yes, type in clear if this is making sense to you. Yes? Right. Now, here is a thing. Here is a problem. Once this cycle is created, okay, a trigger, particular action, and reward. Next time, same thing happens, your brain does not think or respond and say, what action do I take? Your brain directly decides, automatically take this action, and you get the reward. So the choice becomes automatic, right? This is how the habits are built. Now, when that becomes automatic, that's where we either get disadvantage or we get an advantage. Okay. What is a disadvantage? Because if these habits are not helping you make healthy choice, then it's a disadvantage, because automatically you, without thinking, reach out to that ball of ice cream or some samosa or something out there and start eating it without thinking, I am not hungry, I am just stressed, can I take 5 minutes and relax myself, rather than eating. I don't need to eat food. You don't think. You are not checking the options. What options do I have? As soon as there is stress, there is a particular emotion attached, the next action immediately, without you even knowing, is pick that up. It can happen with tea, coffee, energy drinks, food, cigarette, alcohol, any of these. Making sense? Are you guys learning something? Making sense? Yeah. So now, here is the thing. As I said, if you have unhealthy habits, then what to do? Like, how many of you would want to learn how to break this pattern? Type in me if you want to learn how to break this pattern. Right? Okay, Jennifer says me. Awesome. Thank you so much. Me. Okay, got it. Now, here is the thing. There are multiple ways you can break this pattern. Okay, I'm going to go from the most powerful one to the least powerful one. But understand this, before you do this, you cannot forget bad habits or unhealthy habits. You can always, create better options or better habits. Got it? You will not forget. You can never ever forget a bad habit or any habit for that matter. It is printed in your brain with neural connections are made. This is what we call it as neural connections, neural patterns. Okay, they are created, it cannot be erased. However, you can build another neural pattern which is run or done more number of times than the older one. Then that pattern gets a preference. Clear? Which means older the habit, more difficult it is to forget or more difficult it is to break it. Yes, type in yes in the chat box if you understand this. Older the habit, more difficult it is to break it. Newer it is, easier it is to break it. It takes less number of other repetitions to break it. Got it? So number one is if you remove the trigger, there won't be any habit, because trigger is where it gets triggered. It's like a trigger, like trigger in the gun. For example, you see samosa, you eat samosa. As soon as there is a packet of bhujia in front of you, you want to eat. As soon as there is chocolate in front of you, you want to eat. So there is this trigger. Okay, and trigger could be of multiple types, but most powerful and most what do you say, seen triggers are visuals. So if you have a problem food or anything, you got to keep them away and remove the trigger. Now people trigger could come from things like a specific food. It can come from people. Okay, now just think about it. Do you see yourself eating a certain food or eating certain way when you are with a specific person or some type of people? Yes. When you're with certain kind of people, you eat differently. When you're with certain kind of people, you eat differently. Right? Yes. So the trigger could be people, could be company that you have, right? Who are you with? That could be a trigger too. Third one, trigger could be a situation, right? Stress, all of these things, and few things are going to be part of life, right? So you may not be able to completely remove it, but then again, what you got to do is you got to, if you can remove the trigger, so let me go back there and say, if you can remove the trigger, that is the most important thing, because as soon as there is trigger, the habit takes place automatically, milliseconds, and you're already doing that. So first, the most important thing or the most powerful way is to remove the trigger. Type in T if you got this. If you remove the trigger, that's the most effective way to break an unhealthy or a bad habit. T. Yeah, thank you so much. Now, there are certain triggers that you cannot change, right? Stress, work, spouse, relationship, people around you, you may not be able to change them. So what do you do then? In that case, what you do is instead of having only one action as an option, you first create a barrier. Okay, say for example, if you are stressed and you feel like eating, do not immediately reach out to food. Okay, give yourself 5 minutes and say, okay, I will eat that, that's fine. Give myself 5 minutes, you know, take a sip of water, drink some water, take deep breath, probably walk away from that room, that table, that situation, laptop, PC, that person, whatever it is. Walk out, give yourself 5 minutes and come back. And then ask yourself, do I really need that food right now to break, to make me feel good? The answer could be yes. Okay. And as I said, it's not going to change in a day. But what you have done is you have broken the automaticity of this habit or pattern. So that is where you create a gatekeeper, or what we call it as breaking the pattern, and say, okay, I have broken the pattern. I will give myself 5 minutes before I make that choice. I know that's obvious choice. I have been making that choice. So my brain knows that's good, or at least feels good temporarily. But I will give myself 5 minutes before I go ahead and do it. Got it? Type it, got it in the chat if you got this. Very, very important. Okay. This is the second step, or the second way you can break a habit. If you cannot change the trigger, then you delay the response. Okay. You delay the response and give yourself some distraction, some healthy distraction. Maybe drink some water, take a deep breath, move out, all of that. So that is called delaying the response. Okay. So you delay the response. Now, the third way to do it is by having menu of options rather than having one option. Okay, which means if I am looking out or reaching out for a particular problem food, like one of my clients, she was a doctor, and for her it was chocolates. Okay, so instead of having, you first try to remove the trigger, so most of the problems are gone there. Then you delay the response. Instead of having that only one option of chocolate, have 2 3 different options, slightly healthier, slightly different taste, different variety, all of these. So again, what you're doing is you're not automatically, with the closed eyes, opening the wrapper and putting something in your mouth. Now you're choosing, what do I choose? Okay, so one, you're creating a menu of options. Type in menu if you got this. You're creating a menu of options, so you have to think. It does not become automatic, right? So you can create a menu of options. So menu of options is what you can create. Number two, what you can have is you can have healthier version of options. So for example, instead of, I don't have it here, but instead of having, say for example, dairy milk chocolate bar, which is a lot of sugar and a very plain bar, you can say, I will bar a chocolate which is from whole truth foods, which has no sugar in it. It's made out of whole cocoa and no additives, no preservatives. It's much better quality chocolate. So you can improve the quality of what you are eating. It could be anything, but you buy a better quality, which has probably lesser refined carbs or whatever it is. So second, you can improve is quality. Type in Q if you got this. You can improve the quality of the reward or of the action that you're going to take, or food that you're going to eat. Type in Q, quality. For Q. Exactly. Now, once you have done that, thank you so much. Third thing that you can do is you can make that action difficult, okay, or smaller. Say, for example, instead of having one full bar of the dairy milk, you can have dairy milk minis, okay, a small chocolate instead of full one, and just have that instead of having one full bar, so you can make it small. Got it? Type in small If you understand, you can make that action small. Instead of having one full samosa, you can have half samosa, or instead of having two, you can have one, right? So you can make it small. Got it? Clear? So now do you know how to break the bad habits or unhealthy habits? Type in clear if you are clear and you know how to break the bad habits. Yeah, awesome. So as I said, the triggers are coming from people, situation, or things. More you are clear or more you are able to identify the triggers, easier it is for you to look for the options to make it, right? Now, but what about good habits? So two things, okay? Number one, if you want to make or build good habits, you don't have to first break the bad ones, okay? You can still continue to have those that will be taken care of later, but you can still build good habits. Type in GH if you understand that you can still build good habits, right? And the question is, how do I build good habits? Okay. So whatever we did with the bad habits, we do exactly the opposite with the good habits. Number one, what we got to do is we got to decide the trigger, reminder, what will tell me it is time to do this. Okay. Do I have things, people, or situation which will tell me? Like if you look at me, most of my things, I actually use my phone for alarms, for scheduling anything. I have to remember it. I don't put load on my brain that I will remember that at 8 p.m. I have to do this. No, I'll just put an alarm and say 8 p.m. do this. Okay, or put a to-do list or task so it will pop up on my phone and I know it's time to do this. So one, create either a reminder or a trigger. Okay, say for example, you want to eat apple or drink water consistently, right? What you can do is you can have this water bottle in front of you, next to your laptop, next to your desktop, on your desk, so that whenever you feel like, you can open it and have it, right? So trigger, it's there, it's visual, it's available, so you can have it. Clear? So type in R, so you have to set reminders, right, to build a good habit. So reminder. So R. Awesome. Now you have the reminder. The next thing is, what is the response that you're going to take? Here is the thing. Our brain does not like to think. That's why our brain builds habits. Instead of thinking about, oh, I'm thirsty, I don't know where is the glass, I don't know where is the water, do I want cold water or normal temperature or hot water, I would just give up. Okay, I'll see, बाद में देखेंगे, right? Instead, have the response and action ready. If I'm thirsty, I have this water bottle. I like, normal temperature water. It's next to me. So I have kept all the options removed. I have kept one simple, clear reason, easy and doable over here. Got it? So make it available. You have to make sure that the action that you have to choose is simple, clear in front of you. So type in clear. You need to have clarity what exactly you're going to do. Say, for example, if you say, I want to eat healthy, that's crap. What is healthy? Instead of that, you got to say, I'm going to eat one ball of salad. Okay, a little more clear. I am going to eat one ball of salad at lunch. Okay, a little more clear. I'm going to eat one ball of salad before I eat my chapati, rice, or anything else. So I will start my lunch with one ball of salad. And then you have this salad bowl, either empty or full, kept on your plate. So as soon as you go for lunch, you have this in front of you. You don't have to think. Now you don't have to think about what vegetables do you like, you don't like, what to cut, what not to cut. what masala to put, none of these, right? You can do it because it's easy and it's available in front of you, right? And the third part to that is, again, make it smaller, more easier the action to start with, more easy it is to build habits. Got it? More easier the action to start with, more easier it is to get habit. So type it easy if you understood this, right? You got to make it easy. Great. Awesome. Did you guys learn something? What was the biggest learning from today's lesson? Let me ask you this. Put it in the chat box. You can switch on your audio and video and talk. Whatever that you like to do. I would like to understand and learn from you. What did you learn? Was this session helpful? Type in yes if this session was yes helpful. So Olga says yes. Thank you. Ashish says helpful. Thank you so much, Ashish. Yeah. Okay, awesome. Now tomorrow what we're going to do is, tomorrow what, while you guys are typing in your learnings, let me tell you what is in it for you tomorrow, because tomorrow is going to be the big day, last day of this 5-day challenge. I am going to show you, okay, what are the success principles, how, you know, my clients are able to implement this healthy lifestyle in their life. And you have seen some of them were already part of it for the first 3 days, and they were coming in live for revision and, you know, enjoying that. But how they are able to implement this and make it a habit, make it a lifestyle, and they don't need those diet plans, meal plans, or crazy diets in their life. So how many of you want to learn that? Type in me in the chat box if you want to learn that, because I'm going to show you exactly what, you know, my coaching program does to them. Like what, how do we go about building healthy lifestyle, right? Volga says me, Ashish says me, Jennifer says me, SK Jar, Sanjay says me. Awesome. Thank you so much. So with that, I see that it was helpful. I would open it up for Q&A. If there are any questions, put it in the comment below and I'll be more than happy to share that, you know, answer that with you. If you do not have questions, you can say bye and leave, so I know that you are going, and we can call it off for today. Or you can say no questions. Okay. Either you have questions or you don't have questions. If you're typing in, I'll give you another 30, 40 seconds, 60 seconds for you to type in your question. Much thanks. No questions, says Ashish. Okay, awesome. Thank you so much. No questions, says Volga. Thank you. No questions, says Jennifer. All right, awesome. Thank you so much, guys, for joining in live. I really appreciate you coming in live and learning. That shows how committed you are towards your health, your fitness. And I'll talk to you and see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye bye.